Hi, everyone. Welcome to the parent information session for your 2025 year. I'm sure you have a lot of children, students asking about or looking at university options and tertiary education, maybe even reflecting on your own academic journey or your journey to where you are now. But tonight I will be acknowledging our country, of course, acknowledging the Wiradjuri, Ngunnawal, Gundungurra and Biripi peoples of Australia, who are the traditional owners and custodians of the lands in which Charles Sturt's campuses are located, and pay respect to the elders both past and present. So, joining me tonight, it won't just be this figurehead talking all night. I'd like to quickly introduce our Charles Sturt speakers for the night. So, when I do mention your name to the three who are joining us in this particular half of the session, if you could just turn your mic on, give a little wave, and then go back to what you're doing and getting prepared to talk. But I'd first like to welcome Jordan Stewart, our coordinator of Charles Sturt Advantage. Jordan, if you want to pop your webcam on and give us a little wave so we can see your lovely face. There he is. There we are. That's Jordan. So now we know he's the guy to talk about our early offer program. Thanks, Jordan. Okay, so Simone, over to you. She is our manager of scholarships and financial support services. And of course, there she is. Looking awesome. Simone, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait can't wait to hear what you have to offer here tonight as well. And then over to Alana, our residence life coordinator. So if you want to turn your mic on, your camera on, Alana, and just give us a little wave. There we are. Hi, Alana. Thank you so much. Looking forward to having your expertise on the subjects of what it's like to live on Charles Sturt University campuses. Speaking of, let's get into it. Over the course of the hour, you're going to hear from a range of amazing people here at the university, some special guests as well. In just a moment, I'm going to chat through our campus locations and the support that you can actually get here while your child studies at Charles Sturt University. So, following myself, you'll learn from the experts directly. Firstly, from Jordan about our early offer program. Secondly, from Simone about our financial support and scholarships options and any tips, anything that can help you get across the line to obtaining a scholarship for your child. And finally, you'll hear from Alana. You'll be hearing about living on accommodation and, of course, where you might be able to go and visit your child when they're studying here at Charles Sturt University, so they know when to tidy up the room. You can give them lots of notice. But otherwise, lots happening here tonight when the formal proceedings are over. We will actually have a Q&A. So just another reminder, if you do have any questions whatsoever throughout the night, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A chat up in the top box of the Zoom panel, and we will get to them at the end of the night. We'll answer them live. If it's for me or if it's for any of our panel members, please feel free to ask some questions and we'll get to it. So without further ado, let's talk about Charles Sturt University. It's not just a big, beautiful, bright orange university, but why study at Charles Sturt University in particular? There are over 40 universities that you could go to or you could choose for your child, or at least consider for your options. Why choose Charles Sturt University? Well, here it is a place of just a community. We are treating everyone like they are a person, not just a number. We don't see them on a spreadsheet and seeing those numbers go up. We see people, real people with lives and wishes and ambitions going through our doors, and we can't wait to see them start and finish their academic journey here at Charles Sturt University. We do have smaller classes, so students have access to our academics and resources. Once you are a Charles Sturt University student as well, no matter where you are always a Charles Sturt University student, alumni, and of course, you can also use our facilities no matter where you are. If you live in Port Macquarie and you want to go and live and you want to be able to go to the Bathurst campus and things like that, you have plenty of options and support services here for you. But not just that. We are also a highly accredited university to the point that we are the #1 university when it comes to graduates who get jobs fresh out of university. So, of course, you want to be able to find some employment straight away. 89% of our undergrads find full-time employment within 4 months of graduating, which is something we're very proud of as well. But additionally, we also, going ahead of myself, a big part of the reason Charles Sturt graduates get jobs quicker, it's not just because the employers look at that logo on the top of the resume and they say, yep, they know what they're talking about. It is because we give students all kinds of experiences as they study, which includes work integrated learning subjects, internship opportunities, there's work experience, there's career development support. These are opportunities that not only make your degree more interesting, but they give your child so much more confidence and a way better chance of starting their career quickly post-study. So they are learning the ins and outs of the industry while they're studying. So when they step out of university with their degree in hand, they can walk into a new employer and pretty much hit the ground running and knowing exactly what they're doing straight away. A lot of areas of expertise we have here at Charles State University, a diversity of courses from agriculture and environment, arts and communication, psychology, social work, policing, everything, you name it. You can see the list there. We have a stack of areas of expertise here at Charles State University, and that's across all of our campuses as well. We do have six regional campuses. All the way at the top of mid-north coast, we have Port Macquarie, the lucky ducks who get to enjoy the beach. And also we have the central west, where I'm located, on Radjuri country, Bathurst, Dubbo, and Orange. And then we have further down south, Wagga Wagga and Albury and Wodonga. Now, it's not just those six locations, of course, that you can choose from. We do have specialty locations as well, like our study centres. We do have theology centres in Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne. We have partner locations. Melbourne, you can also study online as well. So the world really is your oyster. We have accessible options for you. But let's focus on the actual campuses themselves. What about Albury, you say? Well, Albury is an incredible campus because it is Australia's first certified carbon neutral university campus. It's offsetting of carbon neutral, or sorry, it's sort of emissions that it's offsetting is so grand. It's making Charles Sturt University as a whole a number one, the first sustainable university, which is incredible. They have a massive environmental impact, and they also just have incredible facilities around there as well. Ecological wetlands to make studying environmental science a lot easier as well and more practical. Here in Bathurst, no, not just known for the Bathurst 1000, we are also known for our incredible campus as well. We've seen many alumni and stars you may have seen on TV or maybe even in movies come through Charles Sturt University as news reporters. They've come through our communication precinct and 2MC radio station. Maybe you've seen them on the project. Otherwise, paramedicine, you've also got nursing, engineering. There is a dental clinic here as well, which I go and get a checkup when I go and see the students who are in their third and fourth year, and they get to have a whole lot of experience in that dentistry clinic. Dubbo, we do focus on social work and nursing. It is a more intimate campus, and also it's just close to the zoo. So if you do go and see your child studying and you want to be able to stay on campus with them, duck over to the zoo and see the baby elephants and see the baby lions. It's adorable. And over in Orange, not too far away from Bathurst, it is basically our health hub, but also our foodie hub. If you are interested in our health science at all, dental or oral clinic, or you are just interested in the foodie scene, Orange is a great place to go to, and also just beautiful looking city, beautiful looking city. And then we have Port Macquarie. One of our students who's actually on the panel tonight is from Port Macquarie, and she'll be talking about, what it's like to live on Port Macquarie at the moment. But it is a bit of a a little bit of everything, I should say. They've got a lot of practical learning rooms, occupational therapy, paramedicine, you name it. There's a lot of great courses and campuses, a lot of great courses there, I should say. And last but not least, we do have our massive campus, Wagga Wagga. It is so big, it literally has its own postcode. It is on a 2,000-hectare farm. If your child is interested in agriculture and things like that, or your equine science, animal veterinary science, and things like that, and they want to be able to duck over to the gym or have a splash in the pool not long after class, there's a great opportunity there waiting for you at Wagga Wagga, and you can, of course, check it out when you go and visit. So we also have a stack of support services. So when our students first join Charles Sturt University, we help them find our feet. Every single staff member here has this intrinsic need to want to be able to help out someone, but it's including giving them all the info they need to make it through their first year of university. Of course, if you've gone through that journey yourself, I know I was incredibly nervous when I went to university, and this is the kind of support that we really thrive on, being able to give people anything they need, really. There's accessibility options, the tools, believing students to make a university what it is. So we want to try and support them as best as we possibly can. I mean, our tip is to always find out about a different support service in the campus, even if your child doesn't need access to one. They might know a friend or someone who might need it, and it's just a great asset to have as well. But you've heard enough from me. I'm going to go have a glass of water, and I'm going to let Jordan take over now. So I'd introduce our coordinator, Charles Sturt Advantage, Jordan, to tell us a little more about how your child can secure an offer for Charles Sturt. So Jordan, over to you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Thank you everyone for coming along tonight. As Dan mentioned, my name's Jordan. I'm the Charles Sturt Advantage Coordinator. So for those that aren't aware of what Charles Sturt Advantage is, it's our flagship early offer program here at Charles Sturt. And it's for current Year 11 students. Current Year 12 students. And what we look at is their Year 11 results and what we call soft skills. So I'll go through a little bit of that in a bit more detail. If you could just go to the next slide, please, Dan. So this screen just shows a bit of a summary about what the program is. So as I mentioned, it's Charles Sturt's early offer program. Now, if you're not aware what early offer is or early entry, it's basically receiving an offer through Charles Sturt prior to your children sitting their final year 12 exams. So it takes a lot of the pressure off those exams. There is still most of our offers are firm offers, which means that most students do need to complete year 12 in the year that they apply. But most of our offers don't require a minimum ATAR or prerequisite subjects or anything like that. As I said, we look at your year 11 school results. So if you go to school in New South Wales, it's really easy. We give instructions on the website how to download those. It's just a 2 or 3 step process. And then there's 3 soft skills questions. So there's one around motivation, one on empathy, and another on resilience. And then we also do a bit of a written communication skills assessment as well, just based on the 3 responses to those questions. They're not very long answers, so they're only 150-word answers, which once they start typing and start explaining their examples, they really start to chew up that word count pretty quickly. So it's important to be really clear, really succinct, not waffle on too much. We always do recommend that they have a parent or a teacher or somebody else read over their responses as well, just to make sure that it all makes sense. But overall, the application process is really, really easy. It doesn't have anything to do with UAC or VTAC. It's completely separate to them. It's a direct application through Charles Sturt University. So the Charles Sturt Advantage has its own web page where the students apply directly through that. They just fill out their personal details. They choose their course preferences, so they can choose up to 3 course preferences. Um, they can only choose one if they like, but we do recommend that they choose 3 preferences. It just makes it a lot easier for us if they're not eligible for one of their preferences. We'll automatically look at their second and third and hopefully make an offer for that. So the what else comes with the Charles Sturt Advantage program? So if they're lucky enough to receive an offer, most of our offers will go out on the 1st of September, which is the earliest that we're able to send out offers. We did have a round 2 this year for those that weren't able to get their offers in on time. But for next year, if you just keep an eye on the website, you can register for updates as well to receive info on next year's dates as soon as they're released. As soon as somebody does receive an offer, there's a lot that comes with that. So in order to be eligible, first of all, you do need to have already completed year 11. So we do need to view those year 11 school results. And you need to be completing year 12 in 2025 if you applied this year. But if you're applying next year or the year after, you just need to be completing year 12 in the year that you're applying. And you don't need to be an Australian citizen, permanent resident, or New Zealand citizen. The program is not open to international students. Thanks, Dan. So Dan already went through a lot of the courses and career areas that we have here at Charles Sturt. Most of the undergraduate degrees that we do offer are included in the Charles Sturt Advantage program. So there's over 50 undergraduate degrees that students can choose from. Anything from agriculture through to arts and communication, business, all our teaching courses, IT, a lot of our allied health courses, psychology, social work, and a lot of our science courses as well as engineering. The most popular courses that are not part of the program would include the Bachelor of Vet Science, Dental Science and Oral Health, and also our Doctor of Medicine as well. So those three in particular are extremely competitive, and they do have their own kind of application process. So we're not able to offer those through the Charles Sturt Advantage, but all the other undergraduate degrees that students usually want to apply for are definitely included. So really popular ones include nursing, teaching, paramedicine, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and many, many more. So, as I was mentioning earlier, applying is super easy. So there's just the three soft skills questions. So one is about motivation and how their course preference will enable them to be a positive influence in their community. And then the final two are an example of resilience that they have shown and an example of empathy that they've shown. And along with those three soft skills responses, we look at those as well as their Year 11 results. We provide those to our three faculties here at Charles Sturt, and they combine those to make offers based on a combination of the academic results as well as those soft skills as well. Jessica, she's one of our Charles Sturt Advantage students. We also have a student that will be speaking tonight that came through Charles Sturt Advantage as well. Jessica studied the Bachelor of Nursing here at Charles Sturt, and she's talking here about the residential retreat. Now, the CSA retreat is an on-campus event that we host for everybody that received an offer through CSA. It's held across our Albury, Bathurst, Wagga, and Port Macquarie campuses. It's completely free. There's no cost to the student or yourself. You just have to make your way to whichever campus you'll be attending. It's an overnight event. Lots of opportunities for students to meet one another, meet current students as well, meet their future lecturers, get to know the campus, get to know some on-campus accommodation and whatnot. Really great opportunity to feel more comfortable starting university, and yeah, it's definitely something that sort of sets the program apart. There's also lots of online events as well as part of the program. So depending on the time of year, we've already hosted one on living on campus and accommodation. We had one on scholarships last night, and we'll host a few more throughout the year as well.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
Dan.
so much, Jordan. It would have felt like you would have felt like Santa last month, just sending out all these early offers. You're
Yeah,
one of the
it's
busiest
it's
people in the world.
it's the most exciting time of the year for sure. Lots of happy faces. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jordan. Really appreciate your insights and your practical tips on how parents online can support their child with their application, whether they've already had their application or they are looking at applications for next year. But now we know about enrolling and potentially accepting an early offer to university. Let's look at how we can support our child financially. So I'm actually going to pass over to Simone Beer, the Manager of Scholarships and Financial Support Services. Hello, Simone. I'll pass over to
All
you.
right, Dan, thank you very much. Yes, my title is a mouthful. So, hi everyone, very happy to be here. And I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to understand what Charles Sturt has to offer and how we can help make tertiary studies a little more financially accessible. At Charles Sturt, we believe everyone deserves access to higher education. That's why, as a whole Charles Sturt community, we work together to be able to offer over $10 million in scholarships to our commencing and continuing students. It's not just about helping our students when they start their course. We see financial support as a way to support them throughout their journey at Charles Sturt. As we know, financial pressure or unexpected costs can arise at any time. And it's not just all about money too. We do provide great financial tools to support students to be prepared for the costs associated with studying at university, from budgeting for compulsory placements to handy tips and information on study and living costs, practical tools and advice available when they need it. Next slide, please, Dan. So we often hear that students think scholarships are only for high achievers. At Charles Sturt, it's one of the ways that we support equity and access, supporting students from all walks of life to achieve their goals. Understanding our students and financial barriers they may face is what underpins our financial support offering. We understand that financial barriers or burden can come in many forms and can affect everyone at any time in life. So with over 400 scholarships offered each year, valued over $10 million, there's an opportunity for everyone. Our plentiful scholarships offering is largely funded by, one, the government. So a great example of this is the most recent Commonwealth PRAC payment, which is financial support designed to assist students during practical training throughout their course. Since July this year, we have supported over 1,000 students with $1.7 million of funds dispersed to these students. Second, our generous donors and partners who want to support our students' journey to success at the university. They range from alumni of Charles Sturt wanting to pay it forward to big business providing financial support in their field of expertise, to our amazing staff give program where our own staff donate a proportion of their salary to contribute to the success of our students. Lastly, as a university, we recognise equitable access to tertiary education and look to provide financial support to our underrepresented groups. As I mentioned before, it's not all about high achievers. Our school scholarships recognise and support many groups from differing backgrounds and life experiences, such as students from regional and rural communities, first and family and other underrepresented groups, financial hardship and other barriers that students face, community involvement, leadership and academic potential, and students in specific courses or career areas. Next slide, please, Dan. Thank you. He's on it. So lastly, how do you apply and how do you get started? We understand that applying for scholarships can be quite daunting, so we've designed an online form that is simple to follow, coupled with detailed web pages for each scholarship explaining the criteria and the guidelines and handy FAQs to help along the way. To view our scholarships, you can visit our site by going to study.csu.edu.au/scholarships or simply just Google scholarships at CSU. Our website has a great search tool to filter what you might be eligible for. It will ask you a couple of questions like, are you a commencing or continuing student? Are you studying online or on campus? And what faculty is your course in? This will search for all the relevant open scholarships that you may be eligible for. Alternatively, you can just browse all and search on keywords like agriculture or teaching, whatever the area of study you may be looking at. So when do we open? When can you apply? Scholarships for the following year will open from late September to early October. So we currently have scholarships for 2026 commencing and continuing students open now. This is the main round for our donor-funded scholarships. We also have scholarships open year-round for costs like placement or intensive schools or emergency and crisis situations as they arise. Donor-funded scholarships are generally open to late January, early February with outcomes around the start of session. And we make all payments after census date in the first session, which is usually around the first week in April. So what are my tips for applying? Consider all your options. Make sure you apply early and give yourself time. Understand the eligibility criteria. Each web page or each scholarship will have that listed. So if it says full-time on campus and you're part-time online, you're not eligible, don't apply. If you need to be in a specific LGA area, then make sure you check your postcode actually fits in that space. Apply for multiple scholarships. There are no restrictions on how many you can apply for. Just make sure you're eligible for them. Remember to answer all the questions, so make sure you're putting your best foot forward. Have your documents ready, so whether it's financial information or references that you need, just make sure you've got all of those things ready to go. Being prepared will reduce your stress, and look for help before crunch time. We generally get over 16,000 applications leading into session one. So if you need some help, don't leave it till the night before the applications close. So I think that sums up. There is a scholarship criteria for everyone. Don't be afraid. Jump in, jump in and apply. If you need help, you can reach out to the scholarships team via ask@csu.edu.au. So you can just send an email through to there, or all of our web pages have FAQs, examples. There's even an online video there showing you how to complete our application form. And that's it for me.
Awesome, Simone. Thank you so much. I mean, you have to apply to, we won't know unless you apply, so you might as well toss your hat in the ring.
That's right.
Amazing, Simone. Thank you so much. So great insights. I can't stress enough to everyone here tonight to support and encourage your child to look into any and or scholarship options when the time comes. I really love that Simone pointed out the myth about scholarships. No, you don't need to be the highest achiever. You know, you don't need to be the most athletic. I think we've been warped by American TV, actually. There are scholarships for everything, everything. So many donors are available. So please, if you have a few minutes this week to look them up, feel free to do so. So now we know how to enroll for early offers. Now we know how to apply for scholarships. Let's look at where your child will be staying if they do choose to have an on-campus lifestyle. I'm going to pass it over to Alana now, one of our incredible residence life coordinators. Alana, over to you.
Thanks, Steve. Um, Hi, everyone. Thanks for making the time this evening. Residence life, we like to think of it as your home away from home. So we offer accommodation across all of our regional campuses. So we've got accommodation on Albury, Bathurst, Dubbo, Orange, Port Macquarie, and Wagga. Wherever you're thinking that you might want to study, we've got a place waiting for you. We know that moving away from home to live on campus can be a stressful time, and we try and make that transition as stress-free and seamless as possible by offering a first-year guarantee. So this means if you apply before our cutoff date, we've got a guaranteed accommodation room waiting for you when you get to campus. To keep it simple, there are no bonds or no costly upfront payments when you apply. We have one single acceptance fee that you'll need to pay once you made an offer. And once you move in, we've got a weekly accommodation payment, and that's it. We've got a range of accommodation types that range from $192 per week right up to $317 if you're looking at the more en-suited areas. So we update each prices each year. Have a look at the website because that's got all our up-to-date information. It's really important that we keep our fees streamlined, so it's all inclusive and it covers a lot of things. So we've got up here what's included. We've got singles or double beds if you're lucky to get one of those nicer areas, a shared bathroom, or if you choose an ensuite area, you'll get your private ensuite room as well. Kitchen and living areas are all shared between other residents in your building, and this is a great way to meet other residents and make friends while trying to figure out new skills like cooking for yourself. While building sizes vary, so that means the different amount of people in each kitchen will vary, we always make sure that they're fully equipped, they've got lots of space, and you'll be ready to cook up a storm in there. The kitchens and common rooms are really the social hubs of our residences, and they're a great way to make friends, meet other people, and learn new skills as you arrive on campus. You might have a student who's a real whiz in the kitchen, or you might not be so sure, and that peace of mind of are they going to be eating anything more than 2-minute noodles? So cafes on Albury, Bathurst, Orange, and Wagga Wagga make it really easy for students who aren't that great in the kitchen to be able to purchase food, delicious food on campus as well. The weekly fee also includes all of our facilities. So we've got Wi-Fi, internet, washing machines and dryers, clotheslines, they're all free to use, and that's covered in that price. Security are on site 24/7, so it makes it a really easy, accessible, and safe environment. And we provide basic cleaning equipment. So we've got vacuums, brooms, mops, all the things that they might need to help them encourage to take real pride in their residences. Don't be too worried that they'll be doing the cleaning for the whole building. We've got a team of professional cleaning staff who'll look after all those common rooms, shared kitchens, shared bathrooms as well. So that keeps it really nice for everyone involved. Being on campus, it also means that you've got amazing access to all the other venues and sporting facilities on campus. They're literally then right at your doorstep. So it's so convenient. Next slide. Thanks, Steve. Our amazing Res Life teams made up of RLs, who are residential leaders, or our head residents as well. Where they undergo extensive training at the start of each year to make sure that we have the best support system for your child while they live on campus. Every building has an RL who lives in that area, another senior student who's there to support our residents as they transition into living away from home for possibly the first time. So they're the role models in the community, and they're really responsible for the vibrancy in our residences. So running social and recreational activities, all that fun stuff that you think of when you think of living on campus, that's all led by our RLs. So they organise things like dorm dinners, movie nights, paint and sip activities in each area. And then we have our head resident who leads that team and looks after all the RLs on campus. And together they promote and support community building through larger activities and events that are run throughout the year. So if you've got any problem at all, they're the team there to support you. They also look out for you before you even arrive. So in the lead up to moving onto campus, RLs make contact with all our students to talk you through what it is that you might need to think about bringing, that transition to living on campus, and to make sure that before you even arrive on campus for moving day, you already know at least one person. They're good to go through all those things that you might want to bring, your favorite linen, doona, pillow, things that'll give a personal touch to your room, as well as little tips and tricks about, don't need to bring a fan. We've got air conditioned or evaporative cooling in a lot of our areas. But if you're going to Wagga or Dubbo campuses and you can't handle the heat, yeah, you might want to bring a fan with you. Um, Lots of little things like that. With bikes, we have a lot of bike storage on campus and beautiful campuses with bike paths, country lanes around the area. So we always encourage that's a great way to explore your campus and the surrounding areas. Next slide, thanks, Steve. So as soon as you get an offer to study at Charles Sturt, then you can apply for accommodation. Our applications open mid-August each year, and from the start of October, we'll send out offers weekly throughout the rest of the year. New students, you just apply online, select that room preference, and then sit back and wait for us to send out your offer. It's really easy. If you're applying before that cutoff date, we're going to guarantee that we've got a room for you, so you don't have to stress. And then you just accept it, and we see you at moving day, ready to start that living on campus experience.
It's such an
Thanks, Steve.
exciting time. I love all the videos of students moving in, but also one thing that you pointed out, which I think is really important for parents to know, is that there is a washing machine and they can wash their own clothes. They're not bringing home buckets of clothes during the holidays. So parents, you
Don't
don't
let
have
them
to
trick
worry
you.
too much. Don't let them trick you. There are washing facilities here. Amazing. Thank you so much, Alana. So, of course, now we know about our early offer programs, we know about our scholarships, we know about our accommodation. We have seen a lot of questions come through in the Q&A, and we really, really appreciate it. Just a reminder, we will get to them at the very end. But, of course, if you have any questions whatsoever related to anything we're talking about tonight, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A. There's a button at the top of the panel, and we'll get to them. So, let's move on to our final speakers of the night. Our parents and our students, of course, we have Ella Payne, Terry Payne, Eliza Purvis, and Paula Purvis. So before we dive in, could I get all four of you to just turn your camera on and turn your microphone on, and we'll have a bit of fun and talk about your experiences as a parent and as a student. Hello, Terry and Payne. You got the same camera. That makes things easy. Hello.
Hello. Ella just got home today from uni.
That's right. Yep. Good. So, did you bring home a bucket of a bucket of clothes to wash, or?
No, but a lot of stuff.
Amazing. Well, I'll actually pass over to you two first, if you don't mind. Terry and is it Paula? Terry and Paula? Nope, sorry. I've got Eliza. I've got the Terry and Ella. There we go. I should just look at the presentation better. There we go. Terry and Ella. Of course, Ella, could you just explain what it is you're studying at Charles Sturt University and how that process has been for you so far?
So I'm studying a Bachelor of Education, primary teaching. I'm currently in my second year at the Wagga Wagga campus, and I got in through the CSA Advantage. Yeah.
That's very exciting. You got that email from Jordan saying,
Yeah.
congratulations, you've got the advantage. Come on in. Awesome. Well, Eliza and Paula, over to you. Eliza, what are you studying at the moment at Charles Sturt University?
Yeah, so I'm studying a Bachelor of Education K to 12 with a specialisation in English on the Port Macquarie campus. And I also got a CSA offer as well. And I'm in my third year of study.
Brilliant. Oh gosh, you lucky duck. We're heading into the warmer seasons and you're right next to the beach. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
jealous, but it's a very awesome opportunity for you. That's amazing. Well, now we are going to pass over to the mums. I'm sure a lot of parents might be sitting in your exact position right now. Paula, over to you first, if that's okay. Looking back to, when Eliza was preparing to start university, what were, some of the biggest questions or worries that you had personally? And follow-up question, how did those sort of play out once they actually got to Charles Sturt University?
Probably our biggest thing was where she was going to go. We always knew she was going to go to uni, but just where. Um, my big thing was touring the campuses. That was the best thing to do, just to give us a peace of mind that we know where she was going. And yeah, and to talk to her teachers because her teachers were really wonderful, on alleviating worries for us with, how to do things. They were very good on getting early entries and all that sort of stuff.
Brilliant. Amazing. Good to hear. Now, Terry, same question over to you. What were some of the biggest questions or worries you had, and how they play out once you actually got there, once Ella got there?
I think our biggest worries were, probably what a lot of parents worry about, wondering if they'll cope academically, will they make friends, will they manage living away from home, and will they party too much and not actually focus on their learning. So I think they were the big concerns. And also Ella leaving that familiar school environment and stepping out into the big world and wondering if she'd find her place. But, once uni started, orientation week was fantastic. That was the first place that she made friends. And now she's got friends in a course and across the uni. And we've actually been able to meet a lot of her friends over the 2 years. So that's been a big relief. Also, I think having that res leader that was really close by, that we knew there was someone a bit older, a bit more responsible, who she could turn to if she needed help. So that was a big relief for us.
Yeah, brilliant. We do have phenomenal res leaders here. I'm not just saying that because Alana's in the Zoom with us, but just to keeping it on the parents' questions, what factors most influenced your family's decision when choosing a university? Over to you, Terry. What factors made came in play?
Location was a big factor. We're from a small rural community, so we liked the idea of a regional uni that would feel supportive for Ella. I actually studied teaching at CSU Wagga, so even though it was back in the 90s, I was quite familiar with Wagga and the uni. And also a lot of the teachers that I work with actually did their degree through Wagga as well. So I knew they had a really good reputation for teaching. Cost was a consideration. The cost of living on campus in Wagga is quite reasonable compared to a lot of metro unis. So that was a consideration. And just the flexibility, like knowing that there's people out there that can help. Ella changed her course after the first year and changed just to primary instead of early childhood. So that was a really easy process for that. So yeah, just those relationships, the care that staff show, and as someone said earlier, they're not just a number. Everyone cares about the students. So that was a big factor.
Yeah, amazing. And also thank you for keeping Charles Sturt University as part of your family's legacy as well. It's just sticking on to that. I imagine because you did go through Charles Sturt University, there might be some advantages you had, but as a parent, you're transitioning and you're seeing your own child go through that journey. Is there something that you wish you knew um, back then that you do now?
I
That,
think
yeah.
I, I wish I knew about the flexibility.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just flexibility that you have. If you're not happy with a course, there's other options out there for you that you can change to.
Brilliant. Exactly. Paula, I'm going to ask the same question to you, but I'm going to go back to the start. What factors most influenced your family's decision to go to Charles Sturt University?
We sort of left that up to Eliza, where she wanted to choose. I went on the tours and stuff with her, but it was completely and utterly up to her. Unfortunately, she's about 7.5 hours away from us, so that's a bit of a bugger, but that was her choice. And my mum was originally from up Port Macquarie way, so we sort of have spent a lot of time up there. And yeah, when she got there, she just fell in love with the campus. And yeah, we sort of just made sure that she was happy with her choice rather than us sort of saying this is what you're going to do. My sister went through CSU in Bathurst, doing a teaching degree, and she loved that. But Eliza certainly wanted the coastal life. Yeah, she'd had
Don't
enough
blame
of
her.
no, she'd had enough of farming life, I think, for a little while, and yeah, so our sort of our whole thing was what made her happy. Yeah, and it's a brilliant fit for her. She loves it. She's doing really well up there.
Brilliant. And same question, is there something you wish you knew now that you didn't back then,
Um, Probably a lot of
or
the
vice versa?
scholarship, a lot of the scholarship part of it, and the help that you can get. Eliza's first RL was absolutely amazing. Um, and yeah, I think the more you talk to those sort of people, the more you learn um, in that respect. And yeah, like honestly, she had a pretty smooth transition. She was always fairly independent, so we were never majorly worried that she wasn't going to cope. But yeah, we were very lucky in that respect that yeah, she's just sort of melted into it and yeah, is loving it.
Oh, brilliant. I'll only ask one more question for the parents because there's a lot coming through on the Q&A that I want other parents to be able to ask. I want to be able to share their questions. So just one more from me. How did you sort of support your child through that transition from home to campus life? I mean, you did mention Port Macquarie is 7.5 hours away. That would be quite difficult for your family, Paula. But Paula, what advice would you give to other parents going through that right now? How did you support them, and what advice do you have for parents in your situation?
Yeah, I suppose we probably supported her financially a fair bit to start with. And yeah, we made sure we were always there if she needed to talk to us. We do have fairly good friends in Port Macquarie, so we always knew that if something major went wrong, she did have friends to fall back on. But yeah, we always just made sure we were there for her, just to check in if she needed to check in with us and rant about something or tell us something that happened in her day. That was probably the main thing. Just really, I suppose, be there for them whenever they need. And if there's an issue, generally one of us just flew up there. Yeah, but we've been very lucky. I think we've only had one major trip that we urgently needed to get up there to her. But yeah, we've been very, very lucky.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And same question to you, Terry. How do you support your child? How do you support Ella while she was transitioning from home to campus life? And what advice do you have for parents going through the same thing?
Communication was really important, to stay in touch. We had lots of chats, and we actually started a family Snapchat group as well, so we could all stay in touch as a family, and we send photos and things. So that's really good. But it's also important to encourage independence. As parents, we want to step in and solve problems for them and push them if we think they're not, doing what they should. But I think, we can't micromanage them. We have to let them fly and take off. And advice, I think it's for parents as well that look after your own well-being. Ella's our youngest, so she was our last to leave. So I think the anxiety was more about us and rather than her. So look after yourself as a parent and reach out to your support network when you need to as well, because sometimes you just need to vent. So you just, you need that person. Sometimes you might need to cry. So, but yeah, just communication and look after yourself.
That is great advice, Terry. Thank you so much, parents. We are too hard on ourselves sometimes. Just trust your instinct and look out for your support networks. I am going to pass on to the students. We are just running a little bit short for time. So, Ella, I'll keep it with you. Can you please tell us about your journey from high school to university and why you chose Charles Sturt?
Yeah, so like I said before, I got through to uni through the CSA early advantage. And I chose Wagga because it is close to home. We're only 2.5 hours away, which is really good. Um, as well as before what Mum said, like she went there, so did my sister, and so did my brother as well. So we've had a few people in our family go there.
That was a
And
family legacy, yeah.
yeah. I also really liked the practical aspect of going to Charles Sturt. I know, in our degree, we're really hands-on. We're always going out on prac. So yeah, I think that was a really, really big decision. In
Yeah,
yeah,
brilliant.
when I chose to go.
Yeah, we do have a big practical hands-on kind of feature here as well. But Eliza, over to you. Same question. I know you were a recipient of the CSA, the Charles Sturt Advantage. Is that the main reason why you chose Charles Sturt at university, or was there other aligned conditions?
So every year, obviously the students, probably in this Zoom, as you know, all these universities come to your school and are kind of throwing so much information at you. So in the beginning, when I started considering universities, I was tossing up between Charles Sturt and Port Macquarie. Um, sorry, Charles Sturt and Newcastle. Just because I kind of just wanted that bit more of a change, go to somewhere that was a little bit busier. And Newcastle didn't have the degree that I wanted. I wanted to do the K to 12, just so I was prepared for my future career. And CSU just made that so easy. So it was kind of an easy decision once I found out that they had the K to 12. And then once getting that CSA offer, it kind of everything just fell into place, really. I had a couple offers from a few other universities, but nothing really called to me like CSU did. So it's a pretty easy decision.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that, Eliza. Thank you so much. Just on that, you're studying K to 12. Are you hoping to be a teacher at a central school, or is it more just, having the experience for both secondary and primary?
Yeah, look, I'm tossing up. So I've just started a high school placement, and before starting, I was like, yep, primary school, that's definitely me, that's where I'll be. But the high school kids are kind of getting to me, and I'm kind of changing my mind. So the K to 12, I had a lot of teachers say to me that halfway through their career, they decided to change. And rather than going back to university and having to do an extra degree, I thought it was better just get it all out of the way, and then wherever I end up, like I've got both.
Brilliant. I love that you have the flexibility there as well. Now, just back to you, Ella. What was the most challenging part of finishing Year 12 and preparing for university?
I think definitely a challenging thing for me was staying motivated. After I received my Charles Sturt Advantage offer, I was pretty excited just to get to uni and start. So for me, yeah, definitely staying motivated. Just like studying for your exams, even though you're already basically there, I think was a big thing for me. But yeah, I knew that I had to keep going and get through year 12. So yeah, that was it for me.
And same question to you, Eliza.
Yeah, same
Most
thing as
challenging part?
Ella. Same thing as Ella, honestly. As soon as all my friends and I got our offers, it was more talk of what's our uni rooms going to look like, where are we going to be, rather than, oh, we have this exam coming up. So yeah, it was just kind of that ability to be like, well, we have to get through this part to be able to get to the next stage, which obviously was that last little push that we had to do. So, kind of having that idea of, yep, we're into uni, that's our next stage. You just got to get through this one to get there. But definitely the motivation was the hardest part.
And look where you both are now. Incredible. What an incredible journey. I'm gonna wrap up this. I think we could speak for hours, honestly. This needs to be a 3 hour long event next time, but I'm cautious that people might not have had dinner. So we are going to pass over to the Q&A session. I know a lot of parents have been putting questions into the Q&A. I really want to be able to answer them and give them as much information as possible tonight. So I will pass it over to our first question. Now, once again, if you would like to remain anonymous, please, when you put your question in the chat, remain anonymous. But the first one is, if I could just get everyone to turn their cameras on, as in just our staff, Alana, Jordan, beautiful, thank you. This one is actually over for you, Jordan. So my child received a conditional on ATAR offer for 2026 for her first choice. If she doesn't meet the ATAR requirement when it's released, can she get an offer to her other choices, provided she meets the ATAR requirement for that course?
Um, Great question. Congratulations on your offer, first of all. They won't automatically receive an offer to one of their preferences. So the preferences that they chose in their application, we only give one offer per application. But if you are concerned, please feel free to reach out to the team. The email address is advantage at csu.edu.au. So advantage at csu.edu.au. Just send us an email And I can take a look for you because there's so many different variables with which courses and campuses and how competitive they might be, what the requirements are to receive an offer to those courses. So it's probably one that I'd need to look into on a case by case basis, but they won't receive an offer to another preference automatically. They can definitely choose those preferences via UAC. So don't choose the same preference that they received an offer for, but you can choose other courses at Charles Sturt through UAC. And if you receive an offer through UAC that you would prefer, you can decline your Charles Sturt Advantage offer and accept the new one instead. As long as you do all that before census, there's no penalty to any of that.
Thank you very much. I have a question for Paula and Terry. To the parents, what was one thing you wish you had have known before your child started university? We may have kind of answered that, but this is more one thing you wish you had known before your child started. Anything else?
Oh, I can't think of anything else. Sorry.
No.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, I'm a bit the same. Not really, just probably more on the scholarship side of it. Honestly, I would have really liked to have known more about that prior to her starting.
Mhm. No worries. Thank you. We will have this session recorded as well, or we have this session recorded and it will be uploaded if parents have missed out on any answers or would like to revise it. We'll have it on our website a little bit later on. Another question's come through. If I'm in a very financially difficult situation and am relying on scholarships to enable my university dream, do I accept my offer and just wait until scholarships are given out before I decide what to do? I would be the first in family and I'm very unsure. Simone, that sounds like a question for you. If you wouldn't mind helping.
Certainly accept your offer to study at Charles Sturt University. Depending on the scholarships you apply for, we do have different closing dates. Most of us listening to sort of trying to read between the lines a little bit in an equity and a financial hardships area, we try and get those outcomes out as quickly as possible in the new year. Obviously, we are, I think I mentioned before, we have over 16,000 applications. We have limited funding in some areas. So, make sure you're getting all of those applications in and certainly accept your offer with Charles Sturt University.
Brilliant. Thank you, Simone. Another couple of questions we have lightly replied to or answered in the chat earlier, but just another one for the parents. Of course, Paula and Terry, what would you tell families preparing for this next step? Our child would be the first to go, and they're very hesitant. I know you've had and Terry, not so much the same for being the first in your family, but Paula, how about you?
Well, Lizzie was the first. Neither my husband or I went to uni. So yeah, I don't know. Just make sure they get out and meet people. Like, yeah, get them, make sure they can clean up after themselves. That is a big one. Make sure they can do their washing, make sure they can cook. Just to look after themselves. It gives you a lot more peace of mind personally, if they know what they're doing. But yeah, just Eliza was always outgoing, so we never really had too many worries about her, honestly.
Brilliant. No, thank you very much, Paula. Thanks for your honesty. This one is for the students. How did Charles Sturt Advantage help you, and was it hard? So
Do you want to go
I might
first,
pass over
Ella?
to Ella. Yeah, sorry.
So I think Charles Sturt helped me through in my first year of uni. I got my accommodation like fully paid for, literally just by applying for the Charles Sturt Advantage, which was a really great thing for us. And my RLs helped me a lot. That was a great thing going to uni, and not knowing anyone and just having that friendly face to help you when you go into your building and stuff. But other than that, personally for me, just like what helped me was going out into like the common rooms every single night and going and meeting people and putting yourself out of your like comfort zone just so you can get that real uni experience and you get to meet so many people through it as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We are getting a bit short for time actually, and I'm cautious of everyone's time at the moment. But thank you so much for your honesty and your candidacy and sharing your time with us this afternoon as well, or this evening, I guess. It's getting a bit dark, but I really, really appreciate everyone's participation. Paula, Eliza, Terry, and Ella, thank you so much. Before we do wrap up this session, though, we do have a lot of questions that we could get to, but of course we can follow them up a little bit later on after the session. But if you were interested in seeing our university, bringing your child and actually having a walkthrough of our campuses, we have 6 campuses. They're all quite lovely. Of course, we have talked a bit about Port Macquarie being quite lovely, but Bathurst, Orange, Dubbo, Wagga Wagga, Albury, they're all just as amazing. And we're more than happy to show you around and give you a more of an intimate experience with our campus tours. So one of our student ambassadors or even ourselves will actually give you a tour of the campuses, actually show you where the good cafes are, can walk you through the accommodation so you know where your child will be safe and secure, and of course show you where all the whole facilities are in general. So when you do come and visit them, you can just walk straight to the dorm and you get, you know what, let's go get a coffee, or let's go over here and jump in the pool or go to the gym together or something like that. If that is something of interest of you, you can always jump on our website and look up campus tours and we can book them in for you. We are also offering one-on-one consults with you as well. If you want a bit more of an intimate one-on-one conversation with our team, you can book a one-on-one in-person consult with a Charles State University staff member. You can bring your child along with you, of course. We can answer as many questions as we possibly can for you, give you all the information that you need to have this confidence in your ability to go forth and let your child sort of start their academic and tertiary journey with Charles State University. Well, that is it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night to listen to what our staff have to say and what our incredible parents and teachers, our incredible parents and students have to say about their time with university. It's really, really appreciated. We would love to stay in touch. You can always just visit our website, study.csu.edu.au. You can follow us on socials, or if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to us at schools@csu.edu.au, and we can follow it up from there. And also we have a lot of support services who might be able to answer your questions as well, but our website will be a safe haven for a lot of information. So thanks once again, everyone. We're going to wrap it up here, and I hope you enjoyed your evening. Hopefully we'll see you here at Charles State University. Bye all.
Thank you.